Hello students, right? So let's go. We are going to look at algebraic expression and formula today, and with the focus on substitution and simplifying. So the first part of the assignment is that we are supposed to write down the algebraic expression for each of the following description. So the first one goes like this: the product of 2xy and 8z. So what does product means, right? So product here means the multiplication, right? So what we have is that we have 2xy multiply with 8z. So for numbers, we can multiply them directly. 2 times 8 gives us 16. As for the letters, we can just write them accordingly in this manner. Okay, moving on to the next one. Part B, we ask for the cube root of 3z. Well, cube root, we'll use the radical sign, but this time round, it's a third root, so we'll put it that way. And we have 3z, we can write it in this form. Okay, let's look at part C. Part C, they want us to subtract 4x from the product of 5 and 3y. So we have the product of 5 and 3y. There'll be multiplication again. And from here, we are supposed to subtract 4x. So it looks like this. And we can simplify this. This will be 15y minus 4x. Moving on to part D. Part D, they want us to divide 3y by the sum of 2x and 6z. So the sum of 2x and 6z is to add them together. So we have 3y divide. Now, in algebra, division is best written in the form of a fraction. So we will have 2x plus 6z over here. Right? Okay, moving on to question 2. Question 2, we are supposed to, let me zoom properly. Write down the algebraic expression for the following statement. We're going to subtract the cube root of the product of h and 3k from the square of the sum of p and q. So there's lots of parts over here, right? So let's figure them out. First, there's going to be a subtraction at the end, right? And then we have the cube root of the product of h and 3k. So that another section, let's use a different color, right? We have the cube root of the product of h and 3k. And then another section where we have the square of the sum of p and q. So since it's a subtraction of something from something, so it's subtracting the green from blue, let's write down the blue section first, right? So the blue section is the sum of p and q, which gives us p plus q, and then we square this portion. So this is the part that's highlighted in blue, and then the part that's highlighted in green will look like this. It is a cube root, so we have the cube root of the product of h and 3k. Right? So that's how it looks like. We can simplify this, right? P plus q squared is already simplified. We do not need to simplify this further. You may want to expand if you want to, but it's not necessary, right? Don't do it. We just stay in the same form that the question actually requires from us. However, the product here we can simplify. So this gives us 3hk. So you can leave the answer in this manner. Okay, moving on to the next section where we talk about substitution, right? Substitution is where we replace the letters with the numbers as given. And as I mentioned in class, when we do this kind of substitution, a good habit is to always begin by putting the substituted value in a bracket or parenthesis, right? It is to minimize confusion so that we are very clear what needs to be simplified, right? So in the next one, we have the 2y and then squared. So what this does is that we have, right, 2 and y in this case is negative 4. So as you can see here, by putting y as negative 4 in a bracket, I avoid a mistake of accidentally taking 2 minus 4 because this is 2 multiplied by negative 4. So we've got to be careful here, right? So this gives us negative 8 squared, which gives us 64. Right? For part B, we have 2x squared minus y cubed. So same manner, 2. X in this case is 6 squared minus negative 4 cubed. So we resolve this. This will be 2 multiplied by 36 minus, this will be negative 64, right? So 2 times 36 is 72. Minus a negative is a plus. That gives us plus 64, resulting in the final result of 136. Part C. Part C, right? What we have here, we have x, which is 6, put it in the bracket like this. Y is negative 4, and we square it eventually, right? So let's simplify it. So 6 minus negative will give us 6 plus 4 squared. Simplify to 10 squared, which result in 100. Okay, and part D, well, part D we have some fractions, but let's be careful here. So 3x is 6, and then we have 6 in the numerator, negative 4 in the denominator, minus, again, negative 4 squared. So there are a few parts here. Let's resolve them carefully. So 3 times 6 is 18, right? So over here we have negative 3 over 2, right? And then we have negative 4 squared is 16, so minus 16 over here. Okay, so from here, we simplify this to half. You can have your calculator assist you here. Right, so that's for question 3. Let's move on to question 4. Question 4, they want us to simplify each of these expression. Okay, so what we have here, well, you just have to be careful. It's negative 72, okay, plus 26, so it's negative 46x. Part B, this time round we minus a negative, so we have negative 59z plus 48z, right, which result in negative 11z. Part C, okay, so now for this one, we need to put the like terms together. So we have 5x minus 6x actually, right, plus 22 minus 23. That gives us negative x minus 1. Okay, and finally, on this one, we have 6xy minus 2xy, right? Take note that yx and xy, they are the same thing, right? So we have plus 13x here, minus 5x. Simplify this. This will give us 4xy plus 8x. And that's the simplest form. Moving on. Question 5. Question 5, in each of the following, write down the expression before simplifying it. So they want us to find the sum of the following, right? So what we do is we add them up. So we have 6d minus 4c. This particular expression, plus, right? Yes, sum is plus. Negative 7c, negative 6d. Okay. So from here, what happened? We simplify this. This will be 6d minus 4c minus 7c minus 6d. Okay. So how many c's do we have? Negative 11 c's. How many d's we have? 0 d's. Right. So that's the final result. Okay. The next example, subtract 6xy minus 11 from 7yx plus 5 minus xy. So once again, right, this thing over here, let me use a different color so it's minimize confusion. I'll just highlight it, right? Okay, yx, xy, they are actually the same value. So from here we have a situation where we have 7xy plus 5 minus xy minus 6xy minus 11, right? Simplifying this, right? So we have 7xy minus xy give us 6xy plus 5 minus 6xy. Now take note, we minus negative 11. So minus negative 11 is actually plus 11. So this will result in the 6xy minus 6xy, there's no more. 5 plus 11, 16. Okay, moving on, question 6. Question 6, they want us to simplify this. So once again, let's be really careful with the operations. So let's work it out step by step. We have 3p minus q minus 7r plus 8p minus q plus 2r, right? So let's resolve the p first. So let's count the p's. 3p's plus 8p. So we have 11p. Then the next one will be q. So we have a negative q here, another copy of negative q. So 2 negative q. And then for the r, we have minus 7r plus 2r. That will be minus 5r. And that's the simplest form, right? Okay, part 2. Find the value now when we replace the p, q, and r with the letters that's shown, right? So the value now we have 11, and then we're going to plug p in. P is 2, right? Minus 2, let's put q in. Q is negative 1.5, right? Minus 5, r is negative 5. So that is a substitution. Please substitute with brackets. So simplify now. We have 22, right? So we have negative 2 times negative 1.5 give us positive 3. And then we have negative 5 times negative 5 give us positive 35. So from here, we can obtain the value of 50. Okay. Question 7. Question 7, we have Li Ting bought 8 books at W dollars each and 7 pens at M dollars each. And then she had 3W plus 5M dollars left. Find the amount of money she had at first, right? So let's figure out how much money she spent, right? Amount of money spent is equals to, well, she spent 8W, right, plus 7M. So this is the amount of money she spent, and that's the amount of money left. Therefore, the amount of money she had, amount of money she had will be equals to, right, 8W plus 7M plus 3W plus 5M. Simplify this together, we have 11W plus 12M. And of course, we can add the parentheses for clarity and neatness. Okay, let's go. Last one for the day, right? So we have a tube of toothpaste which costs X dollars, and then a roll of dental floss costs twice as much as the tube of toothpaste. And then we have electric toothbrush, 4 times as much as the roll of dental floss. Okay, so lots of information there. Right, is it correct to conclude that the electric toothbrush costs 6 times as much as the tube of toothpaste? Show your working to explain this. So we need to figure out how much each of the item costs. So let's start with the cost of dental floss, right? We can start here because we know that dental floss is twice that of toothpaste. Therefore, it will be 2 times X. 2 times X will be 2X. So we have the dental floss, right? And then next, we are going to work out the cost of the electric toothbrush, right? So cost of electric toothbrush is going to be 4 times, right? So it's going to be 4 times 2X, which will result in 8X, right? So what does this mean? Is it 6 times more? No, it is not. Therefore, we can say that since 8X is not the same as 6X, right? it is incorrect that the electric toothbrush is 6 times that of the toothpaste. Oops, let's spell that properly. There we go. Okay. Oh, to be cost of. Let's write proper English. Is of the cost of. Okay, to be more accurate in our description. Alright, so with that, I hope you have been successful with this piece of assignment. Have a nice day.